hey. Good morning. I don't really know how many people. But we'll see. You know, we'll start the morning off looking at the mountain. Good morning, good morning. But Doy is up early. What you're doing? But Doy, what are you doing? Huh? 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 No, you know you're not supposed to have your tootsies in the house. You stay out there. Well, give it here. Okay. Okay. Well, what are you doing? You're crazy. Okay, you just stay out there and bite yourself. Okay, I have to make fried potatoes again. The children love the fried potatoes. But before I can do that, I need some coffee. Alona is in DePolog right now. So she may come in as a viewer and stalk me. Who knows? But no, she got another PSA contract, so she had to go to DePolog. I did not go. It's she had to go overnight. Normally I would go with her, but this survey is kind of a small one. It only pays 8,000 pesos, so by the time I get a hotel room for, 1,200 pesos, and we eat a few times because it's overnight, so it'd be like, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, like 4 times eating out or whatever. And then the gas. By the time it's all said and done, out of that 8,000 pesos, we already spent, 3,000 or something like that. It doesn't make sense. So, she rode with her coworker. One of her girlfriend coworkers drove up there, so she rode with her. And she always, if Alona goes to DePolog by herself, then she sleeps in the PSA office for free. And then also she gets free food from the PSA, at least a free lunch. And so she spends a lot less money when she goes to DePolog by herself, rather than when I go with her. What's everybody doing? It's kind of early, so probably a lot of people are still at work, but make me some coffee. So, you guys will see in the video that's coming out like in 10 minutes or something like that, there'll be one that posts, but well, I don't know. No, I don't think you will see in that video. I think it's the video after that, yesterday's video, which goes up tomorrow. But we had a somewhat of a little rain. I mean, it only rained for like 1 hour, but the well is completely full of water. So I did have to drain the pressure tank completely to reintroduce air. But now everything is working perfectly. The well pump, the pressure tank, everything is perfect. So good to go on that. The only problem with it is that the well fills up pretty fast. There's a lot of water that comes off the roof, so a lot of it just goes down the hill. But Thanksgiving Day, what day? I thought this was Wednesday. No, oh yeah, it is Thanksgiving. Well, happy Thanksgiving. I actually tried. There's a guy down the road here that has a poultry farm, and I actually tried because he has a couple of turkeys that are running around, and I tried to ask him about, if he sells them or like if they butcher them or anything like that. But the guy said that they're not for sale and they're just pets. I don't know why somebody would have turkeys for pets, but apparently they don't eat turkeys here. They just have them, like, I don't know about like as an exotic pet, but kind of like how some Americans have like peacocks just for fun, I guess. But they don't eat them. I'm sure they would, but that person in particular does. I've seen a couple of people here that had turkeys, but not in any great number. It's always just been like somebody has one or two, and he's the only one I've ever asked about, buying one or whatever. So I tried to get a turkey for Thanksgiving, but it didn't work out. You can't find that here. I could get a duck, but I don't really like duck. We butchered those ducks for when we first started building this house. We, butchered a duck and put the blood in the concrete footer or whatever, and they cooked it up, and I didn't really care for it. Come on, coffee. My God. So yeah, if there's some people that maybe just came in or whatever, Alona's into Polog. She comes back today. She left yesterday. So later this afternoon she'll be coming back. So I've just been here hanging out, playing Mr. Mom, taking care of the children. My God. Mm-hmm. You better watch that shit. Alona will scratch your eyes out. She's kind of mean. I did make sure that get a job. Why would I need a job? I live in the Philippines. Don't be jealous. I mean, honestly, I a lot of the time. Oh yeah, I found two wives in the U.S., but they were both raging bitches on wheels. So, I'd rather have a woman that doesn't me 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 all day long. Oh, coffee, coffee, coffee. Does what taste as good as they sound? KFC is hiring. Yeah, I'm not. I'm whatever. It's fine. That's one thing. Like, I don't blame someone for being mad or whatever. I would, I used to be kind of mad too. If you're stuck working a job in the U.S., you don't have hardly any savings at all. You're just kind of going week to week, the same old bullshit all the time, and you're trapped, kind of. And then you see somebody else that's, 41 and living in the Philippines and doesn't have to work, then, I mean, obviously there's going to be some kind of animosity, and I don't want to say jealousy, but at least some sort of animosity. I mean, that's to be understood. I used to be stuck like that until I decided not to be. The secret is no matter how much money you make at your job, you have to live well below what you're paid. And if you work some menial job for $15 an hour, you probably don't have any business having children. Children are expensive. If you can't afford them, don't have them. So no matter how much money you make, you can become successful and accumulate savings. You just have to live below what you earn, obviously. Don't have car payments, don't have giant rent bills and stuff like that. Buy a damn camper and live in an RV park for $200 a month. You know, there's ways to do things. Maybe don't get married at 22 years old. Don't have children at 20 years old. But, you know, whatever. Who am I to say? I'm just a guy that lived it and proved it. I mean, whatever, you know. Everybody always complains that I'm going to set you guys down and talk a little bit so I can peel these potatoes, but anyway, everyone complains a lot about like the price of housing and, you know, rental prices and, you know, real estate market, house prices and all that, mortgages sky high or whatever. But those people are looking at the wrong houses. There's Alona. Hey girl, let me see your belly button. Anyway, those people are looking at the wrong houses. They're looking at like fully done, fully ready for market. What you need to be looking for is either mortgage foreclosures or do what I did and find a fixer-upper. You know, I only paid $60,000 for my house. Was it the nicest house on the block? No, not by a long shot. But my mortgage payment was $479. So, and that included all the taxes and mortgage insurance and all that bullshit, house insurance. The actual principal mortgage payment was only like $320 a month. And don't say like that was blah blah blah. You can find that now. You just have to find a shitty enough house and then fix it up. I mean, you're never gonna lose money if you buy a fixer-upper house, unless it's totally like just totally trash and the foundation's screwed and all that. But if you get one that you can kind of tear down and rebuild like from the inside out, outside in, you know, as long as it's got, you know, good bones, you're going to be fine. I mean, let's say right now, if you paid $80,000 for kind of a rundown 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, okay, you put $40,000 into it, you've got $120,000 into it, you sell it for $180,000, you just made $60,000. I mean, guys, it's really not that difficult. Now, I had an extraordinary set of circumstances. I bought my house in 2017 and sold it in 2024. So the value of my house tripled within those 7 years. So that's not normal, but even before the housing market boomed, like I bought my house in 2017, I paid $63,000 for it. In like 2018 or 2019, I had fixed up, I had put a new roof on, I put new vinyl siding on, new vinyl windows. I repaired a bunch of stuff on the inside. I did new laminate flooring through the whole house. Redid the bathroom. I mean, basically tore the house down and rebuilt it. I mean, basically. But by the time I was done, I owed like $59,000 on the house, but it was worth $119,000. And at that time, when I bought that house, I went to sign the mortgage documents at the title company. The only money I was out, my down payment was $420. $420 got me into that house. That was it. That was all the money I needed. And then obviously the monthly payments. It was very easy. This is the worst part, peeling these stupid potatoes. I wish I could just leave the skin on, but I really don't like the skin. We did those potato wedges the other night or whatever, and they were good, but I would have liked them a lot better if we had peeled the skin off first. I really don't like the chewiness of the skin. Nobody's really awake yet or whatever, off work. Yeah, it's a bit early. What time is it? I need to go wake up Ezra. Ezra! Ezra! Time to wakey wakey. You need to get up so you can make yourself lunch for the day. If you want to have lunch, you have to make it. Short sale, yeah. What's the size of your kitchen, dining, living area? Well, I don't know. That depends on if you are talking metric or standard, but metric, it's, let's see, what was it? 6 point something meters from that wall to this wall. So about 18 feet. And then from this wall to this wall is 7.35 meters. So 21, 22 feet, something like that. Pretty big. Oh my God, what do I have left to do? Everything. A lot of shit. A lot. I don't really know what the next thing I'm going to focus on. I think probably... I'm not going to plaster the outside to where it's like the full thickness of the finished surface, but I would like to put a thin layer of plastering over the whole outside. So maybe that's something that I might focus on next. Because I really don't want to leave those blocks exposed like that. As long as nothing hits them or bothers them, they would probably be fine for a long time, but I don't know. They're kind of brittle and stuff, and I'd just rather cover them up. Stupid potatoes. Ugh. Man, if only I had a Filipina girlfriend that could peel all these potatoes, that'd be cool. 2 cups of rice. Hey, your mom said just do 2 cups of rice. He said, and then laid down on the couch. It's a good size in person too. It's very spacious, which is what I wanted because I'm a big guy, so moving around and doing stuff. I don't like to be bumping into walls and hitting stuff. Like I like to have a lot of room to move. Our little house apartment thing in DePolog, I was always walking through the house like this and like scrunched up real. Oh God. $6.14. I gotta hurry up and peel these stupid potatoes. The problem is the potatoes you get here are so small, you gotta peel 30 of them just to do anything. I don't have any ranch. I've seen ranch dressing in DePolog before, but you can't get it here. That's one thing I kind of wanted to touch on. I get a lot of comments about like, well, you should do this, or you should buy that, or it's easy, just do this or that. I don't know if those people don't watch the normal videos or anything, but you guys have to keep in mind and run all of your comments through the filter of, I'm in the middle of the jungle in Mindanao. The things that are available in Dumaguete or Manila or Cebu or Iloilo or wherever else are not available here. All of the Philippines is not the same. So just because you can get something in one area doesn't mean you can get it in another. And they don't always ship everything. There's some things that they sell in Manila that they don't ship to Mindanao. They'll ship it like to Dumaguete or, Leyte or somewhere else or whatever. But there's a lot of places that do not ship to Mindanao. Mindanao is kind of like like maybe the outcast or I don't know how to say it, but there's a lot of things that are just plain not available here that are available in almost every other place. Now, obviously, there's ways around that. I mean, if you want to buy something big, like a big leather couch or something like that, I could hop on a plane into Polog and fly to, Manila, buy the item, take it to the port, and put it on a ferry and ride the ferry all the way back to Mindanao, and then hire someone to drive it from Dipolog or the Dapitan port. But, I mean, that's, that's an extreme case. Fight with my classmate over a girl. Well, I won't say anything negative against that because I'm the kind of guy that used to fight for fun. So I'm not going to be one of those like, oh no, you shouldn't resort to violence to solve your problems. What are you doing? Well, that's the wrong burner. See the picture? That's this one. This one is this one. problem? Huh? 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 Don't touch my butt, bro.
Butthole.
Butthole? I'll flip you in the weenie.
No bullshit.
Don't tell your mom. I don't know if she's still there or not, but your mom was watching the live. Just don't come over here because you got your nipples out, and YouTube will set your hair on fire. It's kind of sad the world we live in because of just a few weirdos. You can't live a normal life and have, little boys running around with no shirts on like little boys always do. What? No, I'm saying it's normal for boys to not wear a shirt and just run around without a shirt. But YouTube doesn't allow it because there's weird people that sit around and enjoy that too much. But the thing I don't understand is there's always been those pedos or whatever. Probably like even 200 years ago it existed. With social media and instant news and everything, we hear a lot more about it now. But there's probably always been that. The creepy old neighbor that always is surrounded by a bunch of kids. I mean, don't tell us what to do. We don't like to behave. We get rowdy. Woo! Turn up the heat. Right? Huh? We like to party around here. Okay, not really, but... I brought 4 bags. When I moved here, I brought 4 bags. I brought a backpack, which was a carry-on. I brought my full big suitcase. I brought a duffel bag that was also a Okay, so the backpack is like the personal item. And then a duffel bag I bought for the carry-on item that goes in the bin up above. So I brought 2 bags into the cargo or into the passenger, area to my seat. I brought 2 bags to my seat with me. Backpack, but small duffel bag, my full suitcase, and I had a big padded soft case that I brought my computer here in. I paid $100 to bring my computer here. So I brought 4 bags. No, I wasn't serious about a tilapia thing. I don't know how to care for them. There are people here that do tilapia farms, but I don't know that it would really be that good in this area. Again, remember, you have to run all of your comments through the filter of I'm in the jungle in Mindanao. The people here, are they going to buy tilapia? No, probably not. They're going to buy the little fish off the motorcycle guy for much less money. Now, that's not saying I couldn't transport the fish to a market somewhere that would sell it. But I don't really know that I want to go through all that hassle. Mayan Bunta, good morning. I know. I don't agree with that. You cannot buy everything here. You can buy everything you need to survive, but if I were to leave my computer in the US, that computer is like $1,700 I've got into it to build. Okay? If I was to reproduce that here, it would be like 2,500 US dollars just for the parts to assemble a similar machine. So it was much, much cheaper to pay the $100 to bring it with me. And there's a lot of things that you can get in the US it's not practical to buy here. Can you live without those items? Yeah. But I mean, I just wanted some stuff. What's your voltage like? Is it steady? Well, I can show you. Unlike a lot of YouTubers that just talk about how bad the electric supply is and all that, I actually have a meter that will show you in real time what the electricity is doing. 230, 232, 230, 231. So right now it's pretty steady. Sometimes it'll go like 208, 240, 210, 236. Like sometimes it does go up and down quite a lot, and there's a lot of brownouts here. But right now it's very steady. I don't like tilapia enough to live off of it. I'll eat tilapia, but like maybe like once a month or something like that. I don't care for it. NVIDIA GPU, yeah, I have a 3080 Super. 3080 Super. Do you use cell phone to message family? I use Facebook. It's really outdated and not necessary to like use actual phone numbers to call the US. Like everybody has Facebook, and if they don't, then it's free to get. They could just get it. Like unless you have like a 90-year-old relative or something, like everybody's on Facebook. Yeah. Hey, live. Live. What time is it?
67.
Okay.
Power na live. Maligo ko naman eh.
Are you dressed for school? Are you ready for school?
Yeah.
Are you ready for school? You're already dressed? No, the power supply is 850 watts. I like to have a little bit of headroom. Viber, yeah. Do you pay metered electricity? Yeah, there's a meter out there on the pole. Okay, finally got those peeled. Well, everyone should use Facebook. I mean, it's free. Okay, but when I say use Facebook, I don't mean to like have all your personal information on there and store all your photos and all that kind of stuff. I mean just have an active account that you only use for communication, for messaging. Then who cares if it gets stuck? I mean, I've had Facebook for, I don't know, 15 years and I still have the same account. Nobody's ever messed with it. So I don't know what you guys are doing to lose them, but just make a new one. I mean, just use it for the messaging only. I mean, it's a completely free way to contact anyone in the entire world. Free rice with the deal. Oh God. Take it easy. Well, you need an account to be able to message and video chat and all that. Yeah, you can, somewhat, if you have Wi-Fi calling available. My issue with it is why would you do that? I mean, literally no one needs a regular phone number anymore. I mean, especially in the Philippines, no business has a phone number. They're all on Facebook. Every business that you interact with in the Philippines is on Facebook. There's no phone number. Unless you talk to them in person at the business and they happen to give you their personal number. But businesses don't have phone numbers here. They're all on Facebook. Well, you don't even need a dual SIM phone. You can just, a lot of phones now, even if they're not dual SIM, you can do eSIM and you can have 6 eSIMs on your phone at a time and just switch between them. But what I'm saying is, you don't even really need a phone number anymore. In the U.S., people are addicted to having phone numbers. All businesses and banks verify your stuff through text message and all this nonsense. But here in the Philippines, you really don't need a phone number. I mean, I have a Philippine phone number and I do have a U.S. phone number still. I haven't even turned on my U.S. SIM in like over 6 months. Because everyone I contact is through Facebook. And if they're not on Facebook, I don't contact them. And that's it. But my U.S. phone number, I had like a prepaid AT&T, unlimited data and all that stuff. It was like $60 a month. which was a lot to me, I felt like, so. And it didn't have Wi-Fi calling. Wi-Fi calling was not available. You know, people always say the SMS from banks thing or whatever. I had that happen a couple of times when I first came here, but like I said, I've been here over a year. I haven't even turned on my US SIM in over 6 months.
Right.
Now that all the banks are used to seeing the transactions here, I guess, but I never run into that at all, ever, anymore. Also, with saving like your digital wallet on your phone and stuff, like it seems like it doesn't create that security thing that requires an SMS code. I mean, I don't know what kind of banking you guys are doing that requires all this like clearance or whatever, but. And as for the US address, I just use my mom's address. I used to use my sister's address, but her life is not as stable. So I switched to using my mom's address. What? What? Should you be using the stove if you don't even know how to turn it off? No, it's the other way. Kid's gonna blow us up. I don't know, this is taking so long that I don't know that.
Look, like it didn't wash.
Aww.
Wash.
Just wash it real fast. Dump the rice outside. I've been talking too much and not. What time is it?
6:37.
Maybe. I gotta get with it though here. Okay, good. Now rinse these. What? Ezra, what? Did you like it?
No.
Kalai is complaining because Ezra farted and she doesn't like it. SSI and bank. I don't know why people are receiving so many codes from banks. I mean, and also a Charles Schwab account. And I've never, like when I first came here, I got that prompt like a few times, but I mean for the past 8 months, I haven't had a single occasion to turn on my US SIM. Honestly, I'm really not that interested in staying connected to the U.S. I mean, I left the U.S. for a reason. And the whole reason, whether people believe it or not, the main reason I left the U.S. was not because of meeting a woman. The main reason I left the U.S. was because I don't agree with the way the country is headed and the way it currently is. I don't agree with it. It's not the way the Founding Fathers intended. It's not the way people 150 years ago intended. It's not the way that people 50 years ago intended. I don't know why in the last 50 years, everything is just crashing and burning, but it seems like a lot of it has to do with going off the gold standard. Freaking Nixon. And I understand where the money goes and where it's supposed to go and all that, but no one should ever be taxed on their labor. No one. There should be no such thing as income tax. Also, there should be no such thing as personal property tax. Once you buy something, you should own it, and that's it. Hell, some states don't. Kentucky, I remember when I lived in Kentucky, there's no state sales tax. Well, whoever took us off the gold standard needs to be spanked. And I'll go ahead and speak about it. It's controversial, and everyone blah 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 offended and blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. But I'll tell you what, all this like transgender and gay and all this weird stuff. I'll say it's weird because it's weird to me. If it's not weird to you, then that's fine. But honestly, I don't want to see anybody out in public making out. I don't want to see anybody, no matter what their gender is, out in public drawing attention to themselves acting stupid. So all these like transgender people running around in mini skirts and like doing backflips in the street and yelling and screaming and all this, their mommy and daddy must not have gave them very much attention when they were children or something, because they just starve for attention and acceptance. Well, guess what? Some people are just not going to accept you, and that's part of life. There's a lot of people that don't accept me. Again, that's part of life, and that's okay. But I don't care what people do at home. But when you're in public, when you live a part of a society, you have an obligation to everyone around you to not really fit in, but to not really cause problems or distractions or, whatever. Just like in a restaurant. If you have a screaming baby in a restaurant, you don't just sit there and ignore it. I mean, you do what you're supposed to do as a parent. You pick the baby up and you leave the restaurant, or you go into the bathroom and try to calm the baby down, as to not disturb everyone else around you. Because as we live in a society, we have an obligation to one another to not only keep our individual freedoms and liberties, but also to respect everyone else's freedoms and liberties also. And I would rather not see transgender people running down the street half naked. I mean, that's just me. Alona, where's the onion? Hey bro, have you seen the white onion somewhere? Your mom said we still had one, but...
No. Wait. Nico, down. Nico.
Well, if I can't find the onion, it's going to be kind of hard to make the potatoes. Call your mom on Facebook and ask her where the onion is.
I can call. Why? Maybe.
Well, have her call then, quickly. Call your mom. I need to know where this is so I can get these cooking. Who? Oh boy. Okay. Look at the rice cooker. I don't care about the rice cooker. Tell me where the onion is. She feel like, I mean, I would give up my citizenship. Whatever. I really don't care. It makes no difference to me other than the fact that I already have 42 Social Security credits. You only need 40 for Social Security retirement. I already qualify for Social Security retirement. So I've already worked and earned the rights to Social Security. But that's the only reason. I have no... America is not America anymore. I mean, if you need me to tell you that, then you're not very observant. It's not. When you need a government to tell you to wear a damn seatbelt, I'm sorry, but not wearing a seatbelt doesn't hurt anybody but yourself unless you fling your body through the windshield and hit somebody with your own body. But the government has no right to tell individual citizens what they do in the privacy of their own areas. Like, it's so ridiculous. Income taxes. Who the hell ever heard about paying freaking income taxes? Like, I don't remember Uncle Sam having any part of, paving that road or, building that house, like roofing that house. I didn't see the state treasurer up there tearing shingles off. So I don't know why they need some of the money, but if they would use the funds appropriately, there's plenty of money in the government to go around. Plenty. They just don't use them appropriately. Where is the... Did you call your mom? Well, I don't know where that onion is. Your mom said that we had one.
She said...
What do you know? What? In the rice cooker? She covered them up with a bowl. What time is it? 6:40? Oh my God. I don't know if this is going to have enough time to cook. Because somebody had to look for the onions for 10 minutes because I couldn't get an answer from somebody. And somebody hid the onions underneath a bowl. Don't you guys love when you're used to seeing something in a certain spot for like a year, and then all of a sudden one day somebody decides that they're going to move it to a new spot, and then you just have no idea where that item is anymore. And then the women are always like, well, just look. Just use your eyes and look. Well, guess what, woman? I shouldn't have to look. I've known where this item was for the last year. Why would you ever move it ever again for the rest of your life? Just leave it there. I'm like that with furniture too. I'm not one of those people that moves couches around to change the room or whatever. Wherever I set the TV, and then I set the couch or chairs or whatever in the living room the first time, that's the way that it will stay until the day that I die. I will never move furniture. Just leave stuff alone. Oh, there's a lot more freedom here in the Philippines. I mean, if you guys think you're free in the U.S., come to the freaking Philippines, and you're gonna realize what real freedom is. Because here's the truth of it: Americans have traded freedom for safety. In the Philippines, you don't have the guarantee of safety, but buddy, you've got freedom. That's the truth of it. Americans have traded freedom for safety. And not all of us would agree to make that trade. I don't really care as much about safety as I do freedom. Because remember, in the words of, what was it? Was it in Braveheart? Or was it in 300? I can't remember. But it's better to it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. No, I haven't buried him yet. I'm kind of waiting for a day where it feels not quite as brutal outside. Here lately, it has been not raining very much. And so during the daytime, it's unnormally hot. It's not normally as hot as what it's been here lately. I mean, here lately it's been so warm that by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's so warm in this room up here, even with the fan on and windows open or whatever, that I can't hardly stand it. I just have to go to the bedroom where the aircon is in the afternoon. So, like right now, just standing here, cutting the onions, not really moving. I mean, right now I'm sweating a little bit. It's so humid and warm. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to cook these suckers a little faster than normal. Okay, now that that's cooking, I can kind of relax a little bit, but beside the rice cooker, my God, that comment is way behind. Do all the comments take that long to show up? My God. It's like 10 minutes. You ready for school? Did you brush your hair? Did you brush your teeth? Are you sure? Huh? Yeah? Ezra, are you dressed? Okay. Red zone? No. No, we're just a little bit north of the red zone, but I mean still close enough to be, I mean, a little unsafe, but oh, the ADV does good with me, Lai, Alona, and Ezra all at the same time. It's fine. I have been to the red zone though. I've been to one of her surveys was down in Sabuco, where Elliot Eastman was kidnapped and killed. The same town. I went down there into that town. The red zone is a place where Abu Sayyaf and the NPA regularly cause trouble. It's a place where the U.S. government advises citizens not to travel to. No, it's going to be like another 20 minutes. Yeah, but just because they're Muslims doesn't make them bad. I mean, we went down there to Sabuco, and there was, well, since Alona's in here, she can corroborate my story, but we went down there and did a survey, and we stopped and met these one Muslim people. They were super excited to see me, and not really to kidnap me, but anyway, they invited me in, and the guy kept trying to give me food and stuff, and there was a woman there that was trying to call somebody so that Alona could get an answer to a survey thing or whatever. And I was joking with them and kept saying, like, she needs to put that phone down and quit calling Abu Sayyaf and telling them I'm here. And I mean, they all thought it was funny and all that. And I mentioned Abu Sayyaf to them, and they all had a disgusted look on their face and said that if Abu Sayyaf came there, that they would fight and die beside me if they had to. So, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but Alona was there and heard them say that, so. Yeah, I mean, the area didn't seem too bad, other than, I mean, just, obviously no, you know, large amenities for anything that a foreigner would be interested in. It's purely 100% Filipino food, Filipino everything. I mean, it's not an area that's like for tourism for sure. And I'm not saying that Elliot Eastman like had it coming or deserved to die, but he definitely was doing some stuff that he shouldn't have been doing for sure, 100%. Especially the loaning money on the 5-6. They call it 5-6 here. Where basically you loan 5,000, they repay 6. But he was loaning out like 20,000 at a time and getting repaid like 25,000 and stuff like that. I mean, one of those poor people would just rather kill you than pay you 25,000. I mean, I've heard of them, but I really don't know anything about it.
Lai! Lai! Huwag sa'yo. Ulay! Ano ito ba? Balon!
There's their lunch. Kind of black. 7:01. I'm gonna have to end this in about 20 minutes to take them to school and all that stuff. I might have to take them to school 10 or 15 minutes later than normal. School doesn't start until 8. I usually take them at 7:20, but I might have to take them at like 7:40 or something like that instead, because those potatoes just aren't going to be done by 7:20, I don't think.
Look at this.
Huh?
Look at this rice.
What about it?
So, like,
Huh?
so.
It's up to her, I guess. However much she wants to eat. Oh, man. It looks like it's going to be hot again today. Yeah, but I just really wanted to emphasize that because, I mean, I get a lot of comments that are like, and I understand if people aren't like regular viewers or whatever, I guess that could be part of it, but everyone's always talking about like doing this or doing that. Guys, a lot of that stuff is just not available here. It's just not. Even if you live in the Philippines, if you live in Iloilo or Dumaguete or Manila area, even the provinces near Manila, if you live in any of those places, you may think that you know a lot about living in the Philippines, but you know a lot about living in that part of the Philippines. Come somewhere, like this, and it's a totally different ball game. Totally different. I mean, I talked to one guy that has lived in Cebu for like 15 years. And he was trying to tell me like this and that, like about, metal gutter downspouts and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's not. I can go to Sindongan right now to big commercial buildings, 3-story like business buildings, and I can show you orange PVC downpipes coming down the side of the building. It's what people use here. But everyone thinks just because, something is available in Manila or Cebu that I should be using it here. And it's not that I can't get that stuff here. I could get that shipped here. But it would cost 3 times as much as just doing it the way that everyone else here does it. And it works fine. And since I spray painted them black, they don't even stand out that bad. It just looks like black pipes. Subic Bay. Some of the people that have lived in provinces in Mindanao, and even in Mindanao, if you live in a province of Dipolog, that's different than living in the province of Cheyenne or somewhere, way out. To illustrate my point, I think what I'll do today, well, I don't know about today, in a video coming soon, I will fly my drone straight up in the air 300 meters and do a slow 360-degree spin and just show you guys where I'm at. It's jungle as far as the eye can see, even from 300 meters in the air. It's just jungle. So I just wanted to emphasize that, like, I like to see all the comments, but I would like for you guys to funnel or filter your comments through, through the idea or through the filter of the area that I'm in. Just take a second to think about, living in the middle of a jungle and then do your comment. Yeah, I went to Cebuco. Well, there's 5 of us that live within the Cheyenne area. I don't know if that's a lot or not a lot, but when I decided to come here, I really didn't want to have like all of the amenities and like. If I'm going to live in a foreign country, I want to experience what that country is actually like. Just like if you go to India or, Saudi Arabia or, Germany or anywhere, you're not going to experience what that country is really like in that nation's capital city or a huge city. You're just not, because the huge cities try to emulate Western amenities. So you can go to, a huge city in, France or Germany, and it's going to be pretty similar to a huge city in Europe or England. It's just, there's not that many differences when you go to the big cities. If you really want to experience what a country is like, go out to the middle of nowhere where no one is.
Open it.
started to run out of oil in the potatoes here. Well, I wouldn't say that it's been the best experience being here, but at the same time, it's a true Philippine experience. So it's honest. Whether good or bad, whatever, but at least it's honest. Manila, Cebu, that's not an honest Philippine experience. It's just not. No offense against anybody who chooses to live there. You know, if I had $2 million in the bank, I would probably live outside one of those areas too, but, you know. Actually, I don't know if I would. I would probably still choose to live here just because I'm that kind of guy. Hello, neighbor. Where are you going? Oh, lame. You're crazy. Sometimes I really do think that there may be something a little off about me. I don't know. Maybe it was the way I was raised. I don't know. But I always look back to, like, I don't know, all the U.S. patriots and the people that have always been willing to die for a principle. Not even really a purpose, but even just something as simple as, you know, I can't think of an example, but somebody accusing somebody of something and that person just sticking by their guns and refusing to lie or waver and dying for it, willing to die just to keep your self-respect. So I'm kind of an extreme person in that sense. Like, in my younger days, I was ready and willing. If there would have been like a 200,000 or 300,000 person militia that decided to rise up against the U.S. government, I would have been one of those that joined them. And I would have been in the front. I really think the U.S. government has obviously reached a point of no return. And basically the U.S. people, U.S. citizens have two options, in my opinion. Either one, completely submit and do whatever the government wants them to do and just live their lives as peacefully as they can. Or number two, the exact opposite direction. Don't submit to anything. Live exactly the way you want, and if the government doesn't like it, revolt. I mean, I don't know what else to do about it or say about it. It's gotten to the point where no normal person can even try to become a person of power or influence in America anymore. No one, you know, if a 62-year-old, you know, farmer from Iowa decided that he wanted to run for president and he could really make a good difference in the country, how would he go about doing that? He's got $8,000 in a bank in his bank account. You know, how the price for entry is so high. If you're not a multimillionaire already, you really can't, or at least backed by multimillionaires, you can't do anything. So the U.S. people really don't have a choice in voting for president anymore. It's either vote for the puppet or vote for the puppet with a loud mouth. I don't know. Everybody can say what they want about Trump. I do like the fact that he just says whatever the hell he's thinking. I do like that. But I still think he has interests in the wrong. Obviously, he's a billionaire, and obviously he has billionaire friends, and obviously he wouldn't want to upset his friends, but so that's why I say he's got interests in places where it doesn't need to be. But, yeah, I feel like I've done the only logical thing I can do, because if I stayed in America, I mean, some of the stuff I was hearing in the news while I was still there made me want to drive my car through the Capitol building. I mean, it seriously, it made me so mad. And the fact that I couldn't do anything about it. There's no course of action. And it seems like half the country is willing to just roll over and take it up the ass anyway. So the only logical thing I could do to keep myself alive and out of prison is to come here. And yes, I may go back to work. That's not 100% for sure yet. I may, or I may not. It's not been decided yet. And if I do go back to work, I have rested and reset my mind by being here more than a year. And so I can go into the U.S. knowing that it's a temporary situation. I don't have to pay attention to the politics or any of that other crap. I just keep my head down, do my job, make my money, and get the hell back out. Now, going into the situation with a mindset like that is a lot better than feeling like I'm trapped living there and there's no way out. That's a whole different ball game. Technically, it's the same, but mentally, it's a lot different. If that makes sense. Usually, I try not to get too political, but I tell you what, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, I'm proud to be an American. I mean, honestly, I brought this with me from America. I have a desk mat, don't tread on me. I have shorts that say the same thing. I mean, I am proud to be an American. But at the same time, America is not America anymore. And honestly, it hasn't been in my entire life. But I retrieve or get my patriotism from studying history. You can say what you want about... my dad was in the Marine Corps. My grandpa fought in World War II. But honestly, I look back to even further than that. I look back to the Patriots of 1760 and stuff like that. Like ever since about, I would say about 1900 and back, I can admire and respect those people, and those are the people that I look up to. But I can't remember if it was 19 1918, sometime around in there when they passed the income tax law. From that point forward is bullshit. Everything after 1900 is bullshit. Has been steered in the direction of what it is right now. And it was by design. And those people got what they wanted. They steered the country in exactly this direction. This is what they wanted, and they got it. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, what's going to happen, I can almost guarantee it. What's going to happen is you could do the same thing I did and leave. And I have found true freedom in the Philippines. But I can see by what's happening and the laws that are being passed here in the Philippines is trying to move towards westernizing or becoming a first world country. And I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I can see the bureaucratic bullshit rising up, passing this law and this law and this law, building on the law previous to it, getting more and more restrictive as time goes on. 100 years from now, the Philippines will probably be just like America. I mean, I don't know. The only thing that's going to stop, and honestly, I don't think anything will. I think the entire world is going to move further and further and further towards total dictatorship, basically. Until it comes to a certain point where either everyone revolts or society collapses and does a complete reset and millions of people die. I mean, I don't know how it's going to change, but I don't think it will change until it's like, you know, a catastrophic event causes the change. And there's a lot of good people in America, a lot of good citizens in America, especially where I'm from in the Midwest. I mean, there's a lot of good people there. There's a lot of bad people too, but there's a lot of good people. But on the West Coast and the East Coast, there's a whole bunch of messed up people. A whole bunch. There's probably good people there too, but when I drove a truck, I could see it. Anywhere where there's like large metropolitan areas, the people just got crazy and weird. Where I'm from, to have fun, people, you know, sit on their front porches and shoot guns at targets down the way, or maybe just sit and watch the cows in the field, or, you know, ride a four-wheeler around or whatever. But it seems like people in cities have fun by doing drugs and being gay and just doing crazy shit. Well, I don't think Russia or China will take over the Philippines because the U.S. obviously is an ally to the Philippines. I mean, hell, the Philippines was a U.S. territory until we gave them their independence in 1954.
We took them from France, or from Spain. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think the U.S. would allow that to happen, unless China was somehow able to defeat the U.S. in a war, which I don't see that happening either. Okay, it's done. Go ahead and get some of that. It's super hot, but
Hey,
I had to cook it. I had to cook it really fast, so there's crunchy parts, but oh man. Yeah, I don't know, but as far as I can tell, even though the entire world is going that direction, for the rest of my life anyway, 20 or 30 years or something like that, it's not really going to change all that much that I can see. So I'll just hide out until I die, and then it's everybody else's problem. The children are doing okay. I wouldn't say any of them are super successful. My daughter is 19. She works at Domino's and lives with some friends or something. Normal teenage shit. And then my son, I don't know if he's really working or not. He's just kind of bumming around like a 20-year-old bum, kind of. I don't know. I always tried my best to get my children to come to work with me and watch me work and, do work at home and all this stuff, but I mean, I don't know how my parents did it, but I could not get my children to work at all. If I paid them, they would kind of suffer through it a little bit, but they never really had that work ethic. And I don't know, I mean, my dad, and I'm not saying this is the right way to do it by any means, but my dad would basically tell me to do something, and then if I didn't do it, he would just beat the shit out of me. So I knew that if he told me to go out or come with him to cut some wood, be ready at 7 a.m., I better be ready at 7, or else. So I guess that's where mine came from, just being forced into labor, but I don't know. I never really felt like beating my children, so I guess they didn't get that. Regardless, though, I told my children, if you're not going to go to college, you're going to leave. You're going to leave when you're 18, and I stuck to that. Both of my older children left my house when they were 18. Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't even care if they got a job. Even if they got a job, I don't want them living with me. I've been on my own since I was 16 and a half years old. I had my own apartment when I was still in high school. So just having a job is not enough. My grandpa got married when he was 16 years old. My grandma was 13. My grandpa was 16. At 17 years old, my grandpa had a 40-acre farm that was not given to him by anybody. He was originally from Kansas. He came to Missouri at 16 years old, and by 17 had a 40-acre farm. So, I mean, people like to say, like, children's minds develop at blah, 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 and this and that. I don't know. I have a real independent, free spirit. And I just think that by 18 years old, you're not going to tell. I mean, when I was 18, there wasn't anybody on the face of the earth that could tell me anything that I would listen to. Nothing. I knew it all, and I felt like an adult. So I was treated like an adult. Now, I don't know what state you live in, but in Missouri, you can still spank your kid. You absolutely still can. Is it good? Good? We probably need to leave in about 10 minutes. I don't know. People say now that, like, you shouldn't spank your children, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because I've known people that were like Seventh-day Adventists that, raised their children. Their children were super well behaved, super polite, never really did anything wrong. They weren't even allowed to watch TV. But they never spanked their children, and their children were just good. So, I mean, I don't know that spanking is necessarily the way to do it. It's a way. Oh, I did spank them a few times. Trust me. They got it a few times. Probably not as often as I should have. But I was a little bit jaded from my dad beating my ass every day, so I was miserable as a child, so I didn't want to make their lives miserable, but I don't know. I've known a lot of people that didn't spank their children, and their children were just fine. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it comes down to genetics, or, maybe an individual is predetermined at birth with whatever brain chemistry they're going to have to be either rebellious or mindful or whatever. I really don't know. But there's also super religious people whose children go completely out of their minds. Yeah, but 104 is like 65 miles an hour. It's not really all that fast. I mean, it feels fast, but anytime I rent a car or a truck, like an actual vehicle, there's some stretches between here and DePolog I can hit 140 kilometers an hour. In America, I had a 2010 Audi A6 Quattro supercharged, and it topped out at 135. And I don't know how many times, I mean, all the time, I would drive, state highways in Missouri at 120 miles an hour. I've always been kind of, I don't know, a speed freak or whatever you want to call it. I always drive fast. I got shit to do. The fastest I ever went in a car when I was maybe 17 or 18 years old, I had a 86.5 Toyota Supra. Inline 6-cylinder, 5-speed, turbocharged. I was going, there's a stretch of highway between Mansfield, Missouri and Mountain Grove, Missouri. That's a long 4-lane straight stretch that goes consistently downhill. They call it Whetstone Hill. And I remember the speedometer on that Supra, I think, went to 140. And I mean, I buried that son of a bitch going down that hill one time. Buried it. So I don't know how fast I was going, but it was north of 140. No, I don't want any more kids. I'm done with that. Done? Are you almost done, or are you too busy watching your tablet? We need to leave in like 5 minutes. Inline 6 Mustang. Well, that thing probably did at least 95. Maybe, going downhill. I've had a lot of fast cars. I had a 77 Camaro that I built a 327 for. I built that 327 up. I mean, I had it bored 40 over. I put Keith Black forged flat top pistons, Molly chrome rings, Edelbrock aluminum heads. The biggest cam that I could possibly put in it without going to like a 3,000 stall converter. That Camaro was pretty fast. I also built a 74 Nova, but I had a spare 289 small block, or 283 small block sitting off in the corner and not doing anything. So I put that 283 and swapped the Nova to a 4-speed. It wasn't very powerful, but it was fun. It would spin the tires pretty good. I mean, 289's okay if you like Ford, but I'm a GM guy, not a Ford guy. Good morning. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I got to take the crib midgets to school. If Lai will ever finish eating her breakfast. No. Well, I mean, I don't go by like Fords break down all the time. That's not the reason. The reason I don't like Ford is because they're engineered to cost more money. You know, 351 Windsor, 351 Cleveland, 351 modified. They're all the same cubic inch, but different, you know, big block, small block. The heads are different. You can't take heads off a 289 and put on a 351. Like, the parts are not really interchangeable. With GM, any small block head will fit any small block, basically, from X year to X year. You might not want to put those, you know, you might not want to put 283 heads on a 350, but you could if you wanted to. No, they're not late. The school doesn't start till 8 o'clock, and it's only 4 minutes down the road. Woman. They're not late. All right, guys, take it easy. I gotta go. Take them to school. Bye-bye.